We're talking changes on today's Cowboys Report. I am Tom Downey. Brian Schottenheimer repeatedly now has said the Cowboys are going to make changes to their defensive, potentially both scheme and personnel, so they're going to install it on Wednesday. Here's what he said previously more in depth on the changes. Quote, "We will make changes. Some might be scheme, some might be personnel. If we're not doing certain things well, then by simply deleting some things, that makes you simplify. It doesn't mean we're going to go with one front with one coverage. We're not going to do that. We're still going to be multiple. But absolutely, we'd be crazy if we didn't look to simplify and focus on execution." Look, I hope this isn't just coach speak. There's one thing we'll talk about later on in today's show, a potential change the Cowboys should make, that I think Schottenheimer has mostly gone coach speak on already this season. But it is very clear to anyone watching a drive of the Cowboys pretty much this year that changes are very clearly needed. And it's multiple things that need to be changed. It's not just one thing changes and everything's better all of a sudden. I will say this. I don't know if simpler is actually the solution. Maybe you can simplify the back end of stuff, but it's already kind of simple. It's zone four-man front. They're not really asking that much chaos there. I don't know what the issue is in the back end with the communication, the execution. I don't want to simplify my front. Maybe you can simplify some of the coverages on the back end, but I'll go more in depth on that throughout today's show. Now, if you want to send some good vibes out there and you want the Cowboys defense to be better, show it by liking today's show. Let's send some good vibes and see if the Cowboys can't get things going on defense as we get into week 4. I've got 6 things that I hope the Cowboys change. I want them to change. We'll see if they actually change. First up, we have to stop the all four-man front. We got some great numbers here from NFL's Next Gen Stats. The Cowboys have used a four-man front, so 2 defensive ends, 2 DTs, at the highest rate in the entire NFL this season. 86% of the time, there is no variation. It is a four-man front. That is all they choose to. That is both against the run and against the pass. More from Next Gen Stats. They have utilized 4 rushers on 79.2% of opponents' dropbacks, the 3rd highest rate in the league. However, the Cowboys have produced a pressure rate at 28.6% on 4-man rushes. That's the 10th lowest in the NFL, and have managed only 2 sacks. That is tied for the 3rd fewest. The Cowboys' more pass rush stats here from both True Media and NFL Next Gen Stats. The blitz rate is, you can see some differing numbers. Sometimes they count differently if they count a sim pressure versus non-sim pressure, and just different slight variations that lead to like 0.2% differences for this team. Bottom 3 blitz rate. They're not very good at pressures overall, 27.1%. Their pressure to sack rate is 14%. Their sack rate, and this is all snaps, not just the four-man front snaps, 3.8%. Their time to pressure is also bottom 7 of the NFL. They're bottom 10. In any metric you can find, the Cowboys are among the league's worst in pressures. You have repeatedly, consistently failed to show you are able to generate pressures with 4 players right now. They can't do it. They're unable to do it. I get that Matt Eberflus wants to be a 4-man guy. Okay, I get it. I get he's not a blitzer. I don't think we're going to teach an old dog new tricks right now. But at minimum, we have to try some stunts here. Like, they'll stunt against the run. They're not really doing loops and stuff against the pass. Like, I am tired of this Cowboys team going, well, let's just run 4-man pressure and do 2-eye shell stuff. It's just not working. Like, they can't get off the field on 3rd downs. They have, and then they're getting in 3rd and longs, and because they're doing a good job stopping the run, and they can't get off the field. They have to try something with this pressure package. They have to. What is your confidence level right now in the Dallas Cowboys defense? 1 to 10 is your scale. Let me know in the comments section of today's show. What is your confidence level in the Dallas Cowboys defense? This will be the pinned comments, by the way, of today's show. So take advantage of any potential ad read. Go vote 1 to 10 for your confidence level in the Dallas Cowboys defense. Let's go to the clear and obvious second change. That is, you have to play Jadeveon Clowney. This is the free square, frankly, of everything with this Cowboys changes. And they've said they're going to play him. I choose to believe they're going to play him. Let's get him out there. you probably would have been better off playing him last week. Who among the entire Cowboys defensive end rotation is really standing out to you? Dante Fowler hasn't really stood out. I think Nealon's done a good job against the run. It's great. Had a good first game. Quiet since then. Ezraku gets you 1 or 2 good reps per game, but he's young. He's just not there yet. Probably somewhere about Marshawn Nealon. I've been pretty underwhelmed by Sam Williams. James Houston is not getting a ton of snaps, but he's been okay, if not outright solid when he's gotten them. The Cowboys were the first team to never sack Caleb Williams in a game. It's obvious time to play Jadeveon Clowney. Today's show is made possible by Omaha Steaks. You guys get an extra $35 off their ongoing 50% off sale by using promo code COWBOYS at checkout. Omaha Steaks offers unrivaled quality and variety, and every bite is backed by their 100% guarantee. It is the perfect time to stock up with exceptional handcrafted flavor and the convenience of Omaha Steaks. It's not just steaks, by the way. Burgers, comfort meals, tailgating favorites from chicken wings to smash burgers to big deli-style franks. Omaha Steaks has you covered. So get fired up for fall grilling today with Omaha Steaks. Visit omahasteaks.com for 50% off site-wide during their Red Hot sale event. And for an extra $35 off, use promo code COWBOYS at checkout. That's 50% off at omahasteaks.com. And an extra $35 off with promo code COWBOYS at checkout. See site for details. The link and the promo code will be in the comments section and the description of today's show. We go scheme, personnel, back to scheme. Yeah, I think you have to make adjustments to your all-zone defense. And again, I acknowledge the reality that this is just going to be a 4-man pressure zone scheme, but you have to try other stuff here. Again, from Next Gen Stats, Matt Eberflus and the Cowboys have utilized zone coverage, and you see some different numbers on different sites, but it's all around this benchmark in general. 93.4% of dropbacks, the highest rate in the NFL, and what would be the highest rate by any defense in a single season since 2018. However, they've allowed 9.4 yards per attempt when in zone coverage, the second most in the NFL. The updated Cowboys pass defense, that's when the zone coverage matters. Putrid. They are last in yards per game, passing yards allowed. They're last in yards per play. They are 31st in EPA play, ahead of, I think, the Dolphins. 27th in success rate. 26th in time to pressure. 27th in sack rate. They can't do anything. I am of the belief that the crux of the Cowboys' defensive issues right now, there's a lot of stuff going on, to be clear, but one of the biggest main factors is a complete mismatch in the personnel and the scheme. My biggest issue right now with Matt Eberflus is we're not adjusting the scheme to fit the personnel. Every single coach says we're going to adjust the scheme to fit the players we have. I don't have a single shred of evidence that Matt Eberflus is actually doing that right now. Kyer Elam got shipped out of Buffalo because he was bad in zone. So we're playing all zone now. Okay? Why? How does that make sense? Trayvon Diggs at his core wants to jump short routes, be aggressive. Well, there's no pass rush, there's no blitzing, so the opposing QBs have no threat of having to get the ball quickly, and they can sit back and chuck bombs. Donovan Wilson is being asked to play deep coverage because they think he's interchangeable with Malik Hooker. No, he's not. He's better in the box than he is deep. Shoot, I almost think he's going to be better as a weak side linebacker at this point than an actual deep free safety. This isn't working. This is Matt Eberflus again trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. And rather than adjust so far, it's his way. And this is not unique to coaches. So many coaches do this, but it's frustrating when they do it. We'll talk some more personnel changes here in a second. So name a Cowboy who you think needs to play more. Let me know in the comments section of today's show. I'm going to begin at the very back end of the secondary, and that is with the safeties. Let's try stuff. This is not working. They were good in week 1, and then they've got gashed since then because the other QBs have been willing to take shots downfield the way Jalen Hurts was not for whatever reason. Malik Hooker does have 16 tackles. I think he's been better than Donovan Wilson. Neither guy, especially since week 1, has been very good. I don't really know what to do with Donovan Wilson right now. The interception was great. It was a gift-wrapped interception. It was not a good play. But by Russell Wilson. He struggles to cover tight ends last year. We all saw that. He's having miscommunications on the back end and not being in the spot he needs to be. They did kind of sit him at points last week. And I think Wanye Thomas is next up. If Matt Eberflus is committed to doing all this cover 2, cover 4 stuff and having 2 single high safeties, I think you got to try Wanye Thomas. I don't think Donovan Wilson fits that well enough. I get he's a captain. I don't care. I want to win games. I am confused why the Cowboys paid Marquise Bell and then just are never playing him on defense. This is back-to-back coaches who were like, why play Marquise Bell? After he was one of your better players in coverage at linebacker, to be fair, 2 years ago under Dan Quinn. I don't get it. You can't just, if you just keep rolling out Malik Hooker, Donovan Wilson, it's not going to work. We will be live for the Cowboys against the Packers. So if you haven't already, hit that sub button, youtube.com/@CowboysTV. Live show starts 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Remember when I mentioned, I think Schottenheimer was just giving us coach speak and empty platitudes? Linebacker is where this sits out. I need actual competition at linebacker. And coaches always say it's all about competition. I haven't seen much of it, actually. After week 1, Brian Schottenheimer said Maurice Liufau was impressing, and he was earning the right to get more reps at linebacker. The lie detector test came back, and the result was that was a lie. They haven't done it, period. Liufau played 6 snaps. That was just under 10% in week 1 against the Philadelphia Eagles. Since then, 9 snaps and 8 snaps. 4% growth on that small of a sample size doesn't actually mean anything. It means he was out there for a little bit longer on the drive he played. What are we doing out here? Why are the Cowboys not doing that? Why are they not willing to try things and get more guys out there? Why are they not willing to attempt to make changes and put other linebackers out there? Why are Kenneth Murray, Jack Sanborn, and Damone Clark the only ones playing linebacker, really? I'm down to even try Shamar James at this point. You don't need to go down this path. You don't need, try something different at linebacker. Have any of the linebackers who have played all those snaps actually impressed you? No, they haven't. Kenneth Murray was fine in week 2, but also was not perfect. The Jack Sanborn looks like he's a step slow. Try Liufau. He was your second best linebacker down the stretch last season, if not the best. Back-to-back years, the Cowboys defensive coaches are not playing the best linebacker, I feel like, because they didn't play Overshown in week 2 either. It's frustrating. So should Maurice Liufau start at linebacker? Y for yes, N for no. Let me know in the comments section of today's show. Finally, look, if you got to bench a corner, do it. This group is not working right now. And again, I know there's communication issues, execution issues, but it's all not very good. Look, DaRon Bland is clearly one starter. And I assume, and I think that's probably the right move, the Cowboys are going to keep playing Trayvon Diggs, pitch count or not, as the starter, so to speak, on the outside. I think you can make a pretty damn strong argument, at least for now, maybe the Cowboys are better off putting DaRon Bland back on the outside in those nickel packages and sitting Kaiir Elam. You don't want to have your corners be among the leaders and tacklers. That's actually normally a bad thing. He doesn't have the instincts in zone. He still doesn't. He's just not comfortable there. Same issue in Buffalo. He's been getting gashed a lot through the air, too. I have been unimpressed by Kaiir Elam. Reddy Stewart, acknowledging the Cowboys' issues are all deep stuff and Stewart's not doing a lot of deep stuff, I think has actually been fine. Now, the bar is not very high right now, but I think you make a real argument that Stewart's outplayed Kaiir Elam so far. And if you get Bland back this week, knock on wood, you want to play your best 3, maybe that's not Elam right now. I don't know if Triquez Bridges is worth getting extra snaps. We'll see when Carson and Savone Revel come back, but you can't just keep tossing out the same 5 guys and saying this will fix all of our coverage issues. You have to try different things.